Hi, sir, viewers of Equinoxe Television, 6 p.m. in Douala. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the news. Activities resume normally today in most parts of the country after Christians celebrated the birth of Jesus Christ yesterday on Christmas Day. We take you into the celebrations by some families here in Douala in this edition of the news. And today, December 26, we begin with news in retrospect. One of the major news elements this year was the brutal killing of Nous, journalist or animator with Amplitude FM in Yaoundé. We will be taking you back on how it happened and how far the state and the judiciary has gone with the Nous murder case file. Viewers, those are the headlines. Details when we come back. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for the confidence. We told you in the headlines that activities today resume normally, though timidly, in the city of Douala after Christians celebrated the feast of Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ that was yesterday on Christmas Day. But some localities in the city of Douala were not permitted by the electricity distribution company to celebrate Christmas. Those localities were void of power. Those in Lokpom in the Douala 5 subdivision were plunged in the dark on the eve of Christmas and on Christmas Day itself. Christmas celebrations in Lokpom, according to residents, were catastrophic, as Innocent as a Tossos in the report which comes up next.
If most localities in the city of Douala did not plunge in darkness on Christmas Day, like the situation has been for about 2 months with the energy rationing strategy of Equinoxe, this was not the case in Lokpom in the Douala 5 subdivision, where power outage killed the planned celebration and fun.
C'est tout le quartier qui est dans le noir, mon frère.
The entire Lokpom was in darkness. If I tell you we celebrated Christmas, well, then I am telling you a lie. From the 24th to the 25th, we have been in darkness. Even this 26th, there is no light. Children could not have fun. It was impossible to sleep at night because of heat and mosquitoes.
Dans les fêtes de cette année, vraiment, c'était la catastrophe.
Nous avons très mal fêté.
Christmas celebration in Lokpom, Suisse, was a complete mess without electricity.
Nous n'avons pas eu la lumière jusqu'à nos jours.
C'est le quotidien ici à Lokpom.
For about a week now, we have not had energy supply in Lokpom, so everyone is nervous.
Tout le monde est énervé, tout le monde est fâché.
Another regrettable thing is the spoiled food reserved in the fridge.
Nos produits sont tout gâtés.
Everything conserved in the fridge as foodstuff is bad. Chicken has lost its taste. Salads we prepared has been dumped in the trash bin.
Dans la poubelle.
We can't begin computing the losses. All I know is that we cannot conserve anything again to eat the next day.
On peut pas manger ce qu'on a préparé.
Bar owners we met preferred to be mute and digest their frustration after they stocked their bars with hope to sell and maximize profit.
Pensez seulement à ceux qui ont même prêté l'argent pour charger leur bar là. Ils vont manger à qui?
One thing the population of Lokpom wish for is that Equinoxe forgives them in case the population has offended them in any way and grants them stable energy supply to permit them celebrate New Year like denizens in other localities in the city of Douala.
And now, how did the population of Douala celebrate Christmas Day yesterday? Chicken was present on the menu, as our reporters who were on the field told us. Lucy Liengu Asia visited some families in the Bona Musadi neighborhood here in Douala. She compiled these reports for the news.
A moment of celebration at the residence of the Enang Commerce family as they celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Though it was a difficult year for them, the head of the family says they managed to overcome.
So we make sure that at least before the end of the year, we reserve some money that we, at least we use to get chicken. That is their best meat. At least when they eat, they're happy. And then they have their juice, their top.
The children on their part expressed joy as their mom prepared a variety of dishes for them.
My mother cooked rice, spaghetti and chicken, and I'm enjoying the food very well.
I am eating rice and spaghetti, fufu, guangguala.
Aside rice and chicken, fufu and kwankwalang, there is also salad.
I'm making salad for my children because they love salad. I've prepared also jollof rice and spaghetti.
The family, after church, decided to dine together before visiting friends and other family members. From Ambiance Bepanda, we visited the Wafos family in Bonamusadi. Here, joy overwhelmed the family as their grandchildren received baptism on the day Jesus is born.
I'm so glad to be a grandmother today because of the birth of Jesus Christ, my Savior.
I eat rice with juice.
On the table is jollof rice and chicken, apple juice for the kids, while invitees and other family members had rice, meat sauce, achu, bobolo and egusi pudding, salad. After sharing a meal at home,
And now we talk something else. We told you in the headlines that today we are going to begin with news in retrospect. And one of the most news-making elements of the year was the Martinez Zogo murder case. Beyond the issues of security, fragility, and succession struggles, the question of justice and the rule of law in Cameroon emerges in the background of the investigations opened in the Martinez Zogo murder case. Justice must be done for Martinez Zogo in order to appease the families and the corporation on one hand, and to reassure the people of the role of the state in reinforcing justice. It is important to dispel the specter of impunity for the delinquent elite in Cameroon. The affair began in January 2023. For me, Armstrong Sander comes back to the murder of Martinez Zogo in Yaoundé.
As of January 17, 2023, news stories in Cameroon were dominated by the assassination of journalist Martinez Zogo, host of a famous radio program Embouteillage on an urban radio station based in Yaoundé. In his program, Martinez Zogo denounced embezzlers of public funds and sometimes mentioned their names. His disappearance was announced at a time when he was investigating and denouncing the embezzlement of funds by a businessman, Jean-Pierre Amugu Belinga, through what he calls fake contracts obtained at the Presidential Security Directorate. On Saturday, January 28, 2023, the lifeless body of Martinez Zogo was found in a boko tree, a neighborhood of the city of Yaoundé. Public opinion had discovered that the journalist had been subjected to cruel, inhumane, and degrading treatment. He had been completely mutilated by the torturers. The population and the media in particular were shocked. Following a collective outrage over the circumstances of the death of these journalists, the state of Cameroon, through the Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic, announced the opening of an inquiry instructed by the President of the Republic to arrest all those involved in the case. According to initial investigations, the crimes against Martinez Zogo was perpetrated with the personnel and resources of Cameroon's External Intelligence Service, popularly known as the DGRE. Reporters Without Borders released the names of the suspected individuals, including the head of Cameroon's Counterintelligence Service, Maxime Koiko, and his Director of Operations, Justin Danwe, head of the commando that kidnapped and killed the journalist Martinez Zogo. The businessman Amugu Pierre Belinga, who was cited as the mastermind of the crime against Martinez Zogo, was also arrested on February 6, 2023, and several other.
And still on the Martinez Zogo murder case, after close year of investigations, the family lawyers of murdered journalist Martinez Zogo, national and international rights organizations, and also the civil society are still waiting for a verdict. Will justice finally be served? The answer is still to come out from the Yaoundé Military Court. Babila Jonathan now gives us details on the legal journey of the Martinez Zogo murder case this far.
Yaoundé-based Amplitude FM station manager journalist was investigating and exposing corruption and embezzlement of public funds by state officials. He disappeared from public view January 17, 2023. 5 days after, his corpse was discovered on the outskirts of Yaoundé. Following national and international outrage, President Paul Biya later created a mixed gendarmerie police commission to investigate the capital murder. On February 6, 2023, Amugu Belinga was arrested alongside several other suspects. After several days at the State Secretariat for Defense said he was put under pre-trial detention at the Kondingi Principal Prison, March 3, 2023. Amugu Belinga, former intelligence chief Maxime Eko, Colonel Justin Danwe, and other co-accused in the Martinez-Zogo Captain murder affair have been in detention for over 9 months. From the State Secretariat for Defense, the case was transferred to the Yaoundé Military Court. Military Judge Magistrate Sekati Kamwo Florent Aimé then took over inquiries as examining magistrate. For several months, he had been questioning the accused until early December, when an ordinance bearing his signature went out suggesting that Amugu Belinga and Maxime Eko had been set free, and another was issued later disclaiming the first. This was followed by a presidential decree appointing Lieutenant Colonel Pierrot Narcisse Z as examining magistrate and vice president of the Yaoundé Military Court. On the heels of the appointment, Magistrate Sikati Kamwo Florent Aimé was officially taken off the Martinez-Zogo case. And the question waiting for an answer is, what will happen next?
And at least 160 people have been killed in Nigeria in different attacks by armed groups. In the DRC, the government has announced today that demonstrations planned by the opposition will be banned. And in Gabon, Patience Dabani finally meets with his son Ali Bongo after the coup in August. Details and more with Malagdori.
About 160 people have been killed and more than 300 people wounded in attacks by armed groups which started Saturday till Monday, December 25th in several villages in central Nigeria. Armed groups locally referred to as bandits attacked more than 20 villages. Plateau State Governor on Sunday described the act as barbaric, brutal and unjustified. And in Democratic Republic of Congo, 4 people have died and 20 others still missing after a river swept away a building in South Kivu on Sunday. The accident happened in the rural and mining territory of Mwenga. Still in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Electoral Commission on Monday continued to release partial results from December 20 to 21st presidential election, with incumbent leader Felix Tshisekedi leading by a wide margin of 81.4%. He is followed by businessman and former governor Moise Katumbi with 15.18% and Martin Fayulu with 1.2%. While some are calling for the cancellation of the elections, others are planning a demonstration for Wednesday. Elsewhere in Senegal, opposition leader Ousmane Sonko's lawyer announced on Friday, December 22nd that Sonko will present his candidacy for the February 2024 presidential election before the Constitutional Council from the presidential race. And elsewhere in Gabon, Patience Dabani, Ali Bongo's mother, was authorized by the new power in place to visit her son on Saturday, December 23rd. It was the first time the two are meeting since the
In sports, the technical staff and players of some popular clubs of the Elite 1 and 2 Championship are planning to boycott upcoming games of the league. They are demanding for their unpaid salaries, match and training bonuses. Officials of clubs like Racing FC of Babsam, Bambutus FC of Muda, and Inispor of the Opankam have been burning midnight candles to ensure that their clubs appear in the next day of play. Smart Jikan Gabriel reports.
The probability of some top clubs from the West region playing their upcoming elite matches is low. These clubs, Unispor of Otunkam, Racing FC of Bafusam, and Bambutus of Mbuda, are demanding for their unpaid money. Bambutus FC of Mbuda almost missed their game against Union Sportive of Douala as players boycotted training sessions. The officials are owing the players close to 2 months of unpaid salaries, but the club is confident of settling the debts with the players this Wednesday before their weekend match against AS Fortuna of Yaoundé. Bambutus FC of Mbuda says the Cameroon Football Federation FECAFOOT is owing the club the sum of 450 million francs CFA, which is making things difficult for the Mbuda side. Another club whose players are in difficulties is Unisport of Aucun. The players of the Bafang-based club stopped training because they have been without salaries, training and match bonuses. In an attempt to curb the situation, some elites contributed the sum of 2 million francs CFA to the players, while an undisclosed amount was given to the players to cover up for part of their training bonuses. A crisis meeting has been fixed to settle the situation in the ranks of Unisport of Aucun before they travel to Douala this Thursday. Even though the president of Racing Club of Bafoussam gathered some club officials to share with them a common meal on Christmas Day, the Tout Puissant de l'Ouest club is in a serious crisis. The technical staff and players of Racing Club of Bafoussam are threatening to boycott their upcoming game if arrears of their salaries, match and training bonuses are not paid.
Thank you, Smart. Sad Sport Reports brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Thank you, viewers, for always being there. Don't go away. Our programs continue. Equinoxe at 7 p.m. and the news in the French language comes up at 8 p.m. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television and see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.